another movie review. This one's called Manhunt, 1975. This is going to be another Italian flick, hitman type movie. Henry Silva plays the U.S. hitman going after some small-time pimp who was a fall guy for some Italian mafia boss who stole heroin from the U.S. because he didn't want anything to do with them, which didn't really make sense. Anyways, this is going to be directed by Umberto, who is notorious for some cannibal jungle Holocaust movies. Man from Slaughter River, I think is the name of the 1974 movie, which was like one of the first ones to come out of Italy. Probably the original one, if I'm not mistaken. Adrian wanted me to watch that one, but for some reason I couldn't. Maybe YouTube took it down, I don't know. It's also known as Slaughter, and then there's Cannibal Ferox, which is kind of a cool name for a movie. But that one gets bad reviews. I don't know if it's any good. I haven't seen either one of those movies, quite honestly. But anyways, this is a pretty cool flick. I'm giving it 4 to 5 stars. It's got a lot of action sequences. The small-time pimp, he likes to headbutt people, and he's out to get revenge on the mafia boss, of course, who's after him. The two hitmen guys are kind of lurking in the shadows until the end. I was watching this on my portable DVD player at Starbucks with my son on Friday, which was a couple days ago. And he was supposed to be doing Khan Academy. Of course, his eyes were wandering off to this movie. It doesn't waste any time. I mean, within the first 15 minutes, there's topless dancers in it. And of course, I was at Starbucks in a public place, so I had to turn it off. Not to mention my son his eyes were leering towards something that's not for kids. Anyways, he got 4 in a row correct Khan Academy, because I told him he could watch Pee-wee's Playhouse if he got 4 out of 4. He was comparing fractions. Irregular numbers like 5.5 compared to 58 tenths. Which one is less than, greater than, or equal to? That kind of thing. So all of a sudden, he put on his thinking cap. He'd been slacking the previous day, just putzing around, not caring about Khan Academy or anything else I hand to him. Teenagers Liberation Handbook, which is meant for teenagers, but I guess he's old enough to read it. Kind of reinforces the idea that school is a coercion, prison type system, which is kind of what he already knows from watching Captain Underpants. Anyways, he's reading a lot of Captain Underpants books. I don't know why they don't have the TV show on Netflix yet. It's kind of dilly-dallying with that on Netflix. I have no idea when it's going to be available, but when it is, I'm sure he'll watch it. I guess he's gonna watch Pee-wee's Playhouse later today. But anyways, this movie is just about, you know, guys chasing after this small-time pimp dude. The mafia kills off his daughter and his wife by running him over with a van, and he just goes after the guy, goes berserk, and starts, you know, knifing him in the neck. There's a lot of scenes like that. Some cool chase scenes, some explosions and stuff. I thought I was going to hate this movie. The build-up was kind of slow, just a couple of US guys, including Henry Silva, just kind of moping around Milano, looking for this pimp dude. They can't find him because he doesn't hang out at the clubs really. And got some blondie girl who's kind of tagging along. Couldn't really understand her role. And then, yeah, pretty cool flick. Nice little Italian flick from Umberto Lenzi. Like I said, this is the first movie that I've seen of his, and it's pretty decent. I mean, it doesn't pretend to be anything else besides a hitman movie. You're kind of guessing why this small-time pimp is being chased around. I guess I spoiled the ending, but by telling you, but yeah, I can't really say highly recommended, but it's definitely one of those exploitation movies. So it was better than I expected. I don't know much about Umberto Lenzi other than he was a Cannibal Holocaust, one of the original guys, one of the Jungle Holocaust guys from the early 70s. And then Cannibal Holocaust was kind of a rip-off on those movies. So, which I haven't seen either. Although my ex-wife used to have a Cannibal Holocaust t-shirt, you know, with the lady and the pipe going down her mouth. That used to kind of irritate my family when she wore that t-shirt, but it was kind of cool actually. One of the few things that I admired about my ex-wife is that she had the same taste in punk music and cult movies. She took all my VHS tapes though, and a lot of my DVDs. So the spoils of divorce, I guess. Anyways, she's into rock and roll now. She's lost a lot of weight. But there's some things that about my first wife that kind of remind me of Maricela, the lady that I've been dating. She's kind of young, and I think she likes to hang out with her friends, go to LA, which is unfortunate. Same kind of attitude as my first wife, but maybe she'll reform and become a housewife. Who knows? Oh. Anyways. Pretty cool little flick. Not a great flick, but I was kind of pleasantly surprised with it. So a lot of naked white women in this. Not really into that, but there's full frontal nudity when you see the small-time pimp dude's little side business that he's got going on with one of his hookers who's not very successful. So, yeah, she's fully naked. A lot of topless scenes in this one. So it's definitely got the exploitive element going for it. I had no idea that I would have so much nudity in it, even within 15 minutes. So it kind of caught me off guard, especially when I was with my son in Starbucks the other day. So, yeah, I got 10 hours of sleep that day. I got to sleep in a little bit, but then I woke up tired. I went straight for the red line, as I mentioned in my last video review. I didn't even bother doing the Dillinger review until I woke up the following morning. I had a little bit of time before I went to work. And even though one of my employers let me get to sleep in by not having me come into work, I still had to work for my other employer, and they ended up making me work overtime. So I worked like 9 to 6 or something, 9:15 to 6, and I didn't get a lunch break. I just ended up eating a loaf of pain bread. This huge loaf. I mean, we're talking massive. And I was just chomping little bits off while I had the loaf on the passenger seat. I was driving around delivering groceries in San Francisco. I had this huge van, this Sprinter thing. At my first stop, I couldn't park because there's no parking on California Street. So I had to park a block down on Pine Street, and then one of my last stops was on Sacramento Street. This comely Chinese gal, and she was good looking. She was super nice. She said, have a good day, and she was smiling. I wouldn't mind having her for a third wife, but anyway, she came down, and she had really short hair, kind of young looking gal. But I had to park in the white zone because Sacramento Street is like minibus, narrow one-lane street with cars parked on both sides. So I knew it was going to be tricky, but I did it. I made all 16 of my stops, and I finished a half an hour early. So that was pretty cool. But still, I had to deliver like 30 stops today. So I'm a little burned out. I'm going to try to nod off here in a little bit. See how that goes. But I ended up getting only 3 hours of sleep. So now I'll be dead tired tomorrow. Hopefully I can sleep for about 6 hours. But I know I got to get more hemp milk at Whole Foods. So I'll probably run out today. And got the Safeway coupons for yogurt and stuff. My son wants cheese. String cheese. Yeah. So I got a $5 tip from the last lady at the Presidio for she has a nice dog, and I was petting the dog. I got McCormick's rubber marinade, 50 cents off. Should be interesting. So I'm gonna go grocery shopping a little bit. Get that string cheese for my son. He's addicted to it, man. Anyways, pretty cool flick. 4 to 5 stars. Um, I think it gets a pretty high IMDb rating, like a 6 or something. So not a bad little action nudie flick from Umberto Lenzi. It's got plenty of. If you're into white women, naked white women, you're gonna love this movie. I couldn't really get into it from that aspect, but yeah. I know Henry Silva was in Above the Law. I don't know what other movies he's in, but definitely familiar face. I don't know who plays the black dude who was tagging along, Frank, but maybe I've seen him in another movie. I'll look him up. So that's the end of my review. Laters.